What's going on, everybody? Day number 6. I'm doing it. Day number 6. Yeah, doggy. Come on in. Come on in. We are here. We are gathered here today. We are gathered here today. Come on in. What's going on with you? Let me give everybody a couple of minutes to get themselves together. Come on in. Don't run today. Really, really. Come on in. What are we doing? 813 Sports, Hillsboro 813. What's going on? Big Buck, Danielberry Sports. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Oh man, hold up. Shots out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Welcome to BucosLocker with your host. Locker Room Talk with your host, BucosLocker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Situation. Brent, what's up, man? What the deal is? What? Oh, the countdown. Okay. Okay. What's up, Johnny? We sing Usher. It was in my head. It was in my head, man. It was in my head. Y'all ready? Austin, what's up, man? So, what's good with you? Let's have a conversation today. Yahoo Sports are doing their top 30. They're doing their football offseason power rankings. They're starting from the bottom. Big Bucks trying to be funny. Fire the cannons, go Bucks. So Yahoo Sports starting at 32. Giving y'all another website here. The Carolina Panthers at 32. The New England Patriots at 31. The Broncos at 30. The Commanders at 29. The Giants at 28. Let's see what else. Tennessee at 27. What's up, Jonathan? Tennessee at 27. The Raiders at 26. The Cardinals at 25. Let's see what else. The Saints at 24. Derek Carr ranked 19th out of 38 qualified quarterbacks in quarterback grade. Right in the middle. $150 million. I don't know why they paid Derek Carr $150 million. Well, it was $100 million, but I don't even understand why they paid Derek Carr that money. I don't get it. Anyway, so conversation for today. What up, exclusive Garvin? The Chargers at 23. The Vikings at 22. Seattle at 21. I'm still going. My bad. So let's get down to this question here. Today's topic is, how bad can it get? Let's talk. We talked about a few things these last couple of days. This is day number 6. We talked about some good things. We talked about some scenarios, but the one scenario that we have not talked about yet, and we can talk about, because we talked about the ceiling, right? Let's talk about the floor, or how bad can it get for the Bucks. This is not going to be a long conversation, but it's going to be a pretty good one. And I would like to hear from you, Powers and Sea Bandits, on how bad can it get for the Bucks. So let's start there. Let me ask that question, and then we'll start digging into some things on why can it get that bad? Why could it get that bad? And we'll kind of look at the schedule. We'll revisit the schedule, and we will talk about this in today's episode or show. So I want to know, how bad can it get? Let's start there. Does anybody have an idea on how bad can it get for the Bucks? Anybody want to answer the question? Come on now, don't get scared. Big Buck. I see it, man. Baker get hurt. We finally see too. Kyle Trask. You want to see Kyle Trask? No, hey, don't bring Kyle Trask up because you know Brent. Brent is fiending for Kyle Trask to play. that man is fiending for Kyle Trask to play. Even though Kyle Trask's ceiling is low, he still want to see him. If he was really that good, he'll be starting by now, but he's not. And I'm a Gator fan, so 10-7 at the best, and 3-14, 813 Sports. What's up? Johnny R. Johnson, what's up? How bad can it get? As we can talk about how bad can it get as the record, and how bad can it get as far as position? Did y'all know the Bucks ranked 24th in the league in pressure rate at 27%? How bad can it get for the Bucks as a team and as position? How bad can it get, folks? We got some feedback, so let's dig into it a little bit. The not so early NFL 2025 draft, they got the Bucks picking at number 12. Matt Miller. They got the Bucks picking at 12. They got the Bucks picking Harold Perkins, outside linebacker from LSU, pass rusher, edge defender. What do y'all think about that part? We could talk about that too. 6'1", 220 pounds? Well, how can the defense improve if they can't get to the pass rush and they can't get to the quarterback? I mean, they might allow 18, 19 points a game, but how bad can it get for the defense if they can't get to the pass? They can't get to the quarterback with 4 or 5. 2 outside linebackers, 3 down linemen. Eli Seth, where the hell you been at, man? That is a concern, folks. The Bucks ranked 27th or 24th in the NFL in pressure rate at 27.3%. That is terrible. Do y'all understand how bad that is? 24th in the NFL with a pressure rate of 27%. How bad can it get for the Bucks? How bad can it get for the D-line? The secondary, in particular, the cornerbacks. How bad can it be for the tight end position, the running back position, quarterback, O-line, running game, second and third receivers, and also for Todd Bowles and as the Bucks as a whole team? What could the record be? What is the bottom as far as Bucks record? How low can you go? Just as good as we can say 10-7, 11-6. Well, let's talk about the other side. How bad can it get? I want to know. Our return man. I think Bucky Irvin gonna be our return man. Two and 15. Did we get Shedeur Sanders? So let's go through the schedule. Let's go through the bus schedule. Let's see. Some like people saying 2 and 15, 3 and 14. Let's go through the bus schedule. How bad can it go? And we'll kind of give like a preview of kind of what can transpire with the Bucks schedule. So let's talk about it. Man, hold up. Back up. Bag it up and dump it. 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 5 and 12. Sal, what's up, man? 9 and 8 is the best. 5 and 12 is the worst. Jonathan Brutus. All right, let's look at the bus schedule for 2024. People saying 5 and 12, 3 and 14. How bad can it get? Realistically, how bad can it get? Having motion jit, what's up? Realistically, right? You factoring in the Bucks are not a bad team. Offense is not bad. Defense is not terrible. Offense is not terrible as a whole, but Clack 5 white. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers schedule. Washington, week 1. Week 2, Detroit. Week 3, Denver. Week 4, Philly. Week 5, Atlanta. Week 6, New Orleans. Week 7, Baltimore. Week 8, Atlanta. Week 9, Kansas City. Week 10, San Francisco. Week 11, bye. Week 12, New York Giants. Week 13, Carolina. Week 14, Vegas. Week 15, the Chargers. Go, Chargers, go. Week 16, the Dallas Cowboys. Week 17, the Carolina Panthers. Week 18, the New Orleans Saints. We got 4 primetime games. 4 primetime games and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We got 1, 2, 3 games. 3 games start late in the afternoon. So that's a total of 7 games that we're going to have a good chance to really focus in on our team. 7 out of the 10 games, we'll have a chance to really watch our game. Our team play. So the other 10 games is pretty much 12 o'clock, well, 1 o'clock games, Eastern Standard Time. 10 games at 1 o'clock, 4 games, prime time, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, Eastern Standard Time. And then 3 games, America game of the week. Well, not game of the week, but late games. Game number 1 against the Washington Commanders. How bad can it get? Jalen Daniels, Washington front pass rush. 3:25 p.m. No, we'll win that game. Jalen Daniels, I mean, Washington got some pieces now. Washington got some pieces, but they're just not ready yet. I like Brian Robinson Jr., Scary Terry, Jahad Dotson. They got some pieces. I like Jalen Daniel. He's going to be successful down the road, but just not this year. But that will be totally embarrassing if he comes out and hits us with a Mitchell Trubisky. That will be embarrassing for the Bucs. And the Bucs have no idea how to play Jalen Daniels. Now, I think we should win that game. They keep it 100. Next game, the Detroit Lions. How bad can it get? We lost to the Lions twice last season, regular season and in the postseason. Regular season, they beat us by a couple scores. They was in total control of that game. And then come to playoffs, once again, the Lions were in total control of that game. And we lost that game too. And that was one of our best games. That was our ceiling last year. Hanging with the Lions to a degree, well, up until the fourth quarter, the Bucs didn't do anything, really. And then somehow, some way, Baker Mayfield woke up in the fourth quarter and decided to chunk bomb that bit. And we made it look like a game, but that game we were not going to win. Woulda, coulda, shoulda do not work over here. Miss me when I'm gone. But we at Detroit. Yeah, that drop interception by Jamel Dean was terrible. Because they end up scoring on that drive too. Man, that drop interception was terrible. Y'all remember that? That drop interception? Oh my gosh. That was bad, folks. And then Baker Mayfield threw the game in an interception as expected. The pressure bust pipes. The pressure got to Baker Mayfield and interception. Threw it right to the guy. Think about that. Jamel Dean dropped interception in the end zone, and then Baker Mayfield trying to make big plays at the end of the game throws a back-breaking interception. We got to get better for Jamel Dean and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had a good season last year to his standards, which is the bar was set low. We had Detroit though, more than likely. K. Dotton, I believe. He was throwing to K. Dotton, I believe. I think it was K. Dotton. It wasn't Mike Evans. I think it was K. Dotton. Matter of fact, let me take a look at it right now. I think he was throwing to K. Dotton. Let me find out. I think it was K. Dotton. He threw it right to the guy. I was like, what was he doing that? I think K. Dotton was the one that was kind of like in the vicinity. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. I'm gonna find out, folks. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna find out, folks. Hold on. I'm watching it right now. I'm watching it right now. I don't even know who he was throwing the ball to. That's a good question. Oh, wow. Who was he throwing the ball to? Folks, that is interesting. Dangerous, folks. Ryan Howard, what's up, buddy? Who was he throwing the ball to? That was crazy. Just chucking the ball, huh? Just oh Lord. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, who was he throwing? I'm still trying to figure this out. He said the game was fixed. That's bad. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, huh? That's crazy.
Taking the ball.
I'm watching it right now. No, he threw a fade to Mike Evans in the end zone. If Baker Mayfield would have threw a better ball, that would have been touchdown. Throw the fade, Baker. Come on, Baker Mayfield, man. You gotta throw the fade correctly, man.
I think Chris nailed it. There's slight contact. I don't see anything that significantly hinders the receiver at all on this play. Good no call.
Throw the fade, man.
All right, thank you, Terry. Just pointed that out. It's coming back. Brought a little hands. See if you can see the progressive. He was field goal in the first.
I'm watching the game right now, folks.
More snaps than any on the Bucs this year. What we've seen, is you know they're not fucked up and they're not throwing it. Such a nightmare in there to try and run the best of suffering through.
That's it. Clock stop. The penalty.
Thing here was there or
Timeout. Trying to stay alive for the season.
I'm watching it right now, folks. Seth Alexander, what's up, man? Vincent, what's up, man? I'm trying to figure out who he was throwing the ball to in the interception. He had time, too. We had a minute and 46 seconds left. Had time. What was the rush? Had a timeout, too. Cade Otton. It was Cade Otton. I knew I was right. It was Cade Otton, folks. He threw it right to the guy, too. It was Cade Otton. He was throwing the ball to Cade Otton. Out of everybody on the field, Cade Otton is getting throwing the ball. Oh, come on, man. Come on, Baker. He had a good season, man. But in that situation, you got to go to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, man. He threw it right to the linebacker. Did he not see that linebacker? He was right in his face. Why did he throw the ball to Clay Dodgy? What was the pressure, man? Like, what was the rush? Like, we had 1 minute and 46 seconds left and a timeout. Like, why was he so in a hurry to throw the ball in the middle of the field? I'm just saying. We had a good season, but in that situation, what was the rush? We just talking about the situation. Oh, it was pressure. Brian Branch with the pressure on Baker Mayfield. Brian Branch, a guy who we were looking at. Brian Branch. God dang it, man. Was it Rachaad White? Let me go back. Did Rachaad White not pick him up? Oh, no. Yeah, Rachaad White picked him up. It was the interior. It was interior pressure. Brian Branch kind of blitzed. Rachaad White picked him up, but the pressure came from the inside. Oh, man. Brian Branch disrupted everything, but the impression came from the interior. Robert Hainsley, oh man. I'm so glad he's not the center no more, man. Wait a minute. Oh, Robert Hainsley, man. Oh, man. Cody Mulch and Robert Hainsley, dog. Robert Hainsley and Cody Mulch, bruh. Boy, come on, man. They could have picked that blitz up. The blitz was picked up. It was the interior O-line. Oh, man. Can't even get mad at Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield got rushed. Come on, man. Come on, Cody Mulch and Robert Hainsley, dog. I hope Cody Mulch got better. Cody Mulch and Robert Hainsley, dog. Rachaad White did his job. He picked up Brian Branch. God dang it. They got beat by average pass rusher, Kaminsky. Kaminsky, number 79, the backup pass rusher, got the pressure on Baker Mayfield. Anyway, how bad can it get for the Bucs? Cody Mulch and Robert Hainsley. And what's so crazy about it? What's so highly concerning? Yes, we got Graham Barton and Ben Bretzen. Look, man, I never was really a huge fan of Robert Hainsley, dog. But I hope he's not starting, man. I hope Robert Hainsley's not starting. I hope Ben Bretzen wins that job, because I don't want to see a combination of Robert Hainsley and Cody Mulch as our guards. That's weak. Robert Hainsley and Cody Mulch as the guards. are basically weak as hell going into the season. How bad can it get for the Bucs? How bad can it get? Y'all think we beat Detroit at Detroit? Clearly, the Detroit is the better team. They have the better coach, the better OC, the better offense, better running backs, better O-line. I don't think we beat Detroit in Detroit. The Denver Broncos, we should beat them. But Denver Broncos can be pesky. They got an interesting defense that can because Vance Joseph. Now the Broncos gave up 70 points. 70 points against the Dolphins. But the last 10 games, the Broncos defense was top 5. The Broncos defense was top 5 last half of the second half of the season. The Denver Broncos got some interesting players on that defense. One of my favorite guys in the NFL, Patrick Surtain Jr., who's better than all the Bucs cornerbacks put together. I would love the Bucs to get a Patrick Surtain Jr. 6'2", 6'1", 219 pounds, 15 pounds, shutdown cornerback. We don't have that. Patrick Surtain is leaps and bounds better than Jamel Dean. Not even close. They have a couple of pass rushers I like too. The Broncos defense was top, I think it was top 5, I believe, in the second half of the season. That's crazy. I'm just, Dan, calm down. We're just having a conversation, man. This is day number 6. I'm throwing stuff at the window, man. I've been doing this for 6 days. Where have you been at, Dan? Come on, Dan. Where have you been at the other days? This is day number 6. 6 days in a row I've been dropping videos. This is day 6. The 6th day in a row I've been dropping videos, and I have not seen you in here until today. Cody March is, look, hopefully Cody March has a jump. He's not, the jury's still out on him. His rookie season wasn't really that good. I mean, you couldn't really expect much, but he was a high second round pick too. So there's got to be some sort of expectations. So I wouldn't really get in my emotions, Dan. I would relax a little bit because people got to understand, as fans, right? In today's NFL, when you get picked high, there is some expectations. You can't get picked high and have a season where you don't really, you got to have some type of expectations, especially the first round, second round. Because in today's NFL, first, second round picks are impact players. So when you pick somebody that high, that early, it's 7 rounds. So getting picked in the second round, you're pretty much a starter. So if you look around the NFL, most of the starters come in the first 3 rounds. So I wouldn't get too mad at it's just basically a constructive criticism. Like, look, we don't know how Cody March is going to turn out, how he's going to turn out long run. But just in some situations, the interior, it was not just him. It was not just Cody March, Dan. It was also the Robert Hainsley situation, and then the Matt Freer, Aaron Stinney combination. The entire interior O-line was not good. That's including Cody March. Regardless if he's a rookie or not, he's included in that because he was a starter. He was a second round pick. That's a starter. Once again, the first 3 picks in the first 3 rounds are pretty much starters. The majority of the starters are first 2 at minimum. And then also 3rd round picks are becoming starters. So he was a part of a terrible run blocking O-line. So he has to have some sort of, you got to hold him accountable too. Even though he's a rookie, but he was a part of that. It's not, look, he can get a lot better. Don't get me wrong. I hope he does. But he was a part of an interior O-line that ranked at the bottom. As a run blocking unit, the interior O-line for the Bucs was terrible. That's including Robert Hainsley and Matt Freer, Aaron Stinney. So it's not just Cody March. But we were just pointing out. So we were just pointing out the play that Baker Mayfield threw the interception in the playoff game against the Lions on the road. It was pressure. It was a blitz picked up by Rachaad White, and Frank Kaminsky, number 79, backup pass rusher beat Robert Hensley and Cody Mulch. That caused pressure on Baker Mayfield that caused him to throw the interception. Now, of course, we're gonna blame Baker Mayfield for the interception. But when you look at the tape, he can't take the entire blame for the interception. Sometimes you just got to go back and watch the tape. This is why I try to tell people when quarterbacks throw interceptions, just go back and look at the tape. Sometimes you get pressure, you get hit from the back, whatever the case may be. Quarterbacks get blamed for interceptions, turnovers. They also take all the credit for touchdowns too. So in this situation, and this is why I don't look at football how a lot of guys and gals look at football. Baker Mayfield threw the interception. Yes, he's credited for the turnover, but what led up to the turnover? It wasn't his fault. Right? It wasn't totally Baker's fault. Well, the ball came from his arm, so he had to take some fault. But leading up to the interception, which I tell people this all the time, what happened before the interception? Was it pressure? Did the receiver run the wrong route? Or was it straight up the quarterback? In that situation, it was pressure on Baker Mayfield because of Cody Mulch and Robert Hensley. You know what I'm saying? So our interior O-line was not good. So so Dan, do you agree with that? And we were just talking about one play. You know, Cody Mulch for a rookie, his season was not to be really jumping up and down for it. But do we agree, Dan, that the interior O-line, including Cody Mulch, was not good? Do we agree with that? Because if you agree with that, then you understand where I'm coming from. Go lay down. We're not gonna do all that huffing and puffing. Oh, okay. Sit right there. Turn TV. Not so loud. But I'm just saying, do we agree? Today's conversation is how bad can it get? We talked about the good, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So now we got to talk about the other side of the coin, because just as things can be really good for the Bucs, they can also get kind of crazy too. It's just conversation. You really don't want to go there because it's not going to be a good look for you, Dan. We're just having a conversation. You know, I wouldn't really get too upset with the folks in the comment section. It really won't end well for you, because it'll be pointless to try to make an argument, and we just here conversating. We're just here having a conversation. You know, something to do, right? But the topic is how bad can it get for the team, and then we're just talking about the breakdowns, like how bad can it be for the run game, the O-line, the quarterback situation, the worst case scenario. You know, the Bucs are not bad, but there is also a worst case scenario. Like every team has a worst case scenario. The Bucs are not an exception, Dan. I just want to make sure you understand that part. It's okay to say there's a possibility that the Bucs can have a bad season, because every team in the NFL can have a bad season. You get what I'm saying? Every team has a chance to win big and also lose big. In this conversation, this particular scenario, Dan, is how bad can it get? You know, but I don't know if you answered the question, but do you agree, Dan, that the Bucs interior O-line was not good? Because I need you to get that part out the way. Like, get that part. Let's get that part clear. Was the interior O-line last year bad? And then once you answer that question, the worst case scenario for the Bucs, how bad can it get this season as a whole? You get what I'm saying? So this is just conversation. Romel Bradley 56. What I don't want it to get all out of order and just say, oh, you know, I don't even know what's going to happen. We're just conversating. Some people, you know, so crazy in real life. I think a lot of people can't have genuine conversations. Some of you will get fired on in the face. Some of you get punched in the face because you can't even have a conversation about just football. Because it's almost like You can't talk about anything else but everything got to be 100. Everything got to be gold on green, all good, nothing bad, nothing mediocre. You can't talk about anybody. They were not bad. They were okay. It's like every player in the NFL is not good. There are some players on teams that are just not good. There are some positions on teams that are not good. It's not just the Bucs. I can go down to other 31 teams in the NFL. Because I don't just talk about the Bucs. I could talk about damn near every team. Every team has a weakness. Every team has a weakness. Every team has a position group that is not good, that did not perform well. Can they get better? Sure. And how do you get better? You make some upgrades. What did the Bucs do? They got a top center in Graham Barton. He's versatile. He can play guard. He can play tackle. He can play center. They signed Ben Bretzen. But if you honestly think that going into the season with Robert Hainsley and Cody Balch at guard is going to be good to go, I don't know what to tell you on that, man. The worst case scenario is Robert Hainsley starting at guard. The worst case scenario for the Bucs, one of the worst case scenarios for the Bucs on how bad can it get is having Robert Hainsley starting at guard versus Ben Bretzen, the guy that they signed in free agency. I would rather see the Bucs put Ben Bretzen at left guard than Robert Hainsley getting ragdolled at left guard next to Graham Barton. He's gonna have Graham Barton look bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Robert Hainsley next to Graham Barton. I'm okay with Cody March at right guard. As long as he gets better. Now, he should get better, right? Got a full season on his belt. He should get better. Now, was he overdrafted? Kind of, sort of. But he's a starter, right? So we got to get behind. We got to back him. We got to support Cody March. But we also got to be fans, and we also got to be real, too. We can't sugarcoat it and say, oh, if somebody mess up on a play, you're not supposed to say nothing. And some of you guys, I hope you don't have any sons or daughters that play sports, and if they're not playing well, you're afraid to tell them. You feel me? You can't be afraid to call out something that's not good. It's okay. We're not getting paid. We're just talking about it. It's almost like people do not want to hear the other side of the story. It's like they all want to hear good. The Bucs are a 12-5 type team. I guarantee you, if I said the Bucs are a 12-5 team, 11-6 team every season, everybody be like, BucosLocker, he's real with it. He's real. He know what he's talking about. Man, the Bucs can't do no wrong. I can't talk like that, man. I can't sit here and talk about the Bucs are really like that. They are 12-win team, 11-win team, and they got nothing. They're really good. No, man. That would be foolish of anybody to push that narrative about any team, unless your team has been consistently elite. But how bad can it get for the Bucs? The Bucs can't win every game. We do know that. Will they win some games? Of course. We already know that. They'll beat the Broncos, right? Now, the next game is the Philadelphia Eagles. Steven, what's up, man? See, some people, man, I don't know. Some of you guys and gals out there, man, I don't know if y'all can talk about football and hear the whole story without getting in your feelings. People just they jump to conclusions and then they try to act like you don't know what you're talking about and they say some wrong stuff and then they start attacking you and they try to question you. Come on, man. We're just having a conversation, man. That's why I do not like talking to people that's hyper emotional. Because if I talk about all good, you're backing me, you're high-fiving me, and it's like, oh yeah. But the minute I say something, the minute I point out the obvious, some fans, not all, some fans can't handle the obvious. If I point out the obvious, it's a problem. Oh, you hate it. No, that's the obvious. How am I hating? That's the obvious. And if you don't get it, shame on you. Have you ever played football before? Have you played O-line before? Have you caught a ball? Have you been tackled? Have you been blown up? I mean, good Lord. I'm just saying. I don't want to see Robert Hainsley at left guard. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to see. I'll keep Cody March at right guard. I don't want to see Robert Hainsley at left guard. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you want to keep coming at the Cody March, I really just said I will keep Cody March at right guard, and you can even put him at center, and you can put Graham Barton at right guard or left guard. To be honest with you, you can do that. But I do not want to see Robert Hainsley. Now, you're skipping over that part. You're skipping over Robert Hainsley and Matt Freer and Aaron Stanley, and you keep focusing on Cody March. Cody March is going to be the starter. He's a starting right guard. He ain't going nowhere. We're talking about Robert Hainsley, Matt Freer, and that ain't going to work. As long as Cody March get better, I'm okay with that. Now, if he comes in and plays the same way, then that's a concern. You know, that's a concern if Cody March don't improve. That means the Bucs might have to look at the guard position again. But who knows? But the Eagles, week 4 in Tampa, do we win that game? The worst. Now, how bad can it get? Eagles healthy. The Bucs are healthy. If both teams are healthy and clicking. So at this point, the Bucs are what? 2-1, right? They're 2-1. We're talking about how bad can it get, right? They play the Eagles. Let's just say we're just playing hypotheticals. We're just kind of going through the good and the bad. Like we talked about the Bucs ceiling, 10-7-ish, 9-8-ish, right? And then we talked about the floor, right? The floor is like 9-8. 8-9-ish, right? But then how bad can it really get? Like if the wheels of the bus go round and round, they fall off, right? So if the wheels fall off for the Bucs, how bad can it get? That's the conversation. Is just as much as we can sit here and paint a scenario where the Bucs go 12-5. Well, there's also a scenario that the Bucs can go 5-12. Can we agree on that part? Because if we can say 12-5, 11-6, then what's wrong with saying the worst case scenario, 5-12, 6-11? You can't have it one way. You got to get it both ways. There's always two sides to a story. If we can dream up a scenario or a hypothetical where the Bucs win 12 games and they go 12-5, and we can think of that hypothetical, then why can't we think the opposite of the hypothetical and say, oh, what about 5-12, 6-11? It's all conversation. It's how bad can it get? Eagles game in Tampa. Boom. And then Atlanta. Then we got Atlanta. We at Atlanta. Now they're the favorite. Guys like Dan, they funny to me because they keep trying to play semantics and and they try to make it seem like you don't like your team and the team, you trying to say the team is sucks. Dan, it don't work with me. I've been doing this for 7 years, buddy. You can keep trying, bro. You can keep trying, man. It's not gonna work over here. You definitely knew. You're right. I'm singling you out because I like fans like you because you come in here and you make it seem like, oh, you guys don't like the Bucs. You clearly don't understand how this works over here. I go to football games. I travel to go see my team. I wear the apparel. I worked at the stadium. And guys like Dan, no disrespect to Dan, but he's obviously new because I've never seen him before. And I'm picking on you because you're trying to make it seem like everybody in the chat is hating on the Bucs. They're really bad. And everybody knows I've never said the Bucs are a bad team. They're just not an elite team. The Bucs are not an elite team. That's a fact. Now, if you believe the Bucs are an elite team, more power to you. Now, if you do believe that the Bucs are a top tier team, tier 1, tier 2 teams, and state your case. I would like to hear your case of what makes the Bucs a top tier team. Because if you can't back your conversation up and you're just attacking people by saying the Bucs suck, and I never said that. You're not going to win, Dan. I wouldn't even argue with the guys in the comment section. I would actually just address the question, do you think the Bucs are a top tier team? If they not, cool. Nobody's mad. But when you come in here and trying to play this victim game, oh, you don't like the Bucs, you trying to say the Bucs are bad, everybody's saying the Bucs are bad, you don't like the Bucs. That's not true. That's not true. We're just having a hypothetical conversation. If you can't handle that, then you probably might want to go to the other Bucks channels, because every season we see other websites and social media channels. They talk about their team doing this and then 70%, 80% of the time the team don't do that. Go over to the Carolina Kitty Cats channel. They got the Panthers better than the Bucks. You go to the Falcons channels, oh, they think the Falcons gonna be the best team in the goddamn NFL. But that's all hypotheticals. And then the minute the minute the BucosLocker do it, it's, oh, you don't like the Bucks. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Even some of the Saints fans still think they got a chance. But reality always wins them. I had and not to point out not to point out a particular Bucks fan. Shout out to this particular young man, but somebody last year had the Bucks going 12-5. And what did everybody say in the chat? 12-5. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hate him for that, but it was like, okay, cool. We respected it, but was that the reality of the situation? No. That was his hypothetical. That was his dream. That was what is the best case scenario for the Bucks? He picked 12-5. There was nothing wrong with that. Nobody hated on him. Nobody, you know what I'm saying, try to shun him and make him feel bad. It was like, all right, let's put it back. Let's put some money on it. Let's put some Mountain Dew on it. And Skip Bayless said. And what happened? The Bucks were 9-8. And I'm not even pressing for the money. I don't even need the money. I just was being funny. But it's okay to have high expectations. It's okay to have hypotheticals. But also, what about the other side? Which is today's conversation. How bad can it get? Now, week 6, we at New Orleans. So back-to-back weeks, it's Atlanta, at New Orleans. Now, I think we're going to split with both teams. Honestly, right? I think we're going to split. I think we're going to split with the Falcons and split with New Orleans, like we did last season. That's just my personal opinion. And then we got Baltimore comes to Tampa, Atlanta comes to Tampa. Then we got at KC, and then San Francisco comes to Tampa, and then we get a bye week. So up until the bye week, the worst case scenario in this scenario right here, how bad can it get in the first 10 weeks? Let me see, 1, 2. How bad can it get? First 10 weeks. Automatic wins with Washington and Denver. And Atlanta. We'll split with Atlanta. So the first 10 weeks, 3-7. How bad can it get? We beat Washington, we beat Denver, and we split with Atlanta. That's 3 wins out of the first 10 games. So that's 3-7. Now, mind you, everybody calm down. It's not a big deal. It's just how bad can it get? 3-7 the first 10 weeks. Now, the first 10 weeks is not easy, folks. But the worst case scenario, how bad can it get? They have some injuries. And we 3-7 by the time the bye week hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, this is how bad this is not my actual schedule prediction, Dan, or everybody in the chat. I actually have the Bucks winning more games, but we're just saying how bad can it get? Injuries, the O-line not blocking well, Cody Marsh didn't make the jump, the guard situation still a problem, the pass defense still a problem, pass rush still an issue. We're 3-7 at the bye week. Everybody's with the marching sticks with Todd Bowles getting fired. Fire Todd Bowles. Fire Todd Bowles. We're 3-7. Now, mind you, the Bucks did go 1-6 last year in a stretch. Remember, folks, the Bucks did go 1-6 last year. They had a stretch, a 7-game stretch. They went 1-6. So in this particular scenario, the Bucks are 3-7. How bad can it get? And then we come up the bye week, we get the Giants at New York. Thanksgiving weekend, or around Thanksgiving time frame. Cold, We have some injuries, but we still beat the Giants. So well, that's 4-7 at Carolina. So matter of fact, we'll sweep Carolina. So that's 6. That's 6 wins. So at Carolina, we're 5-7. So we on a 2-game winning streak. We're back winning 5-7. How bad can it get? We're trying to get healthy for the stretch run. We're trying to do our thing. Then we got Vegas in town. A tricky game. We're 5-7. We get that game. We beat Vegas. Now we're 6-7. Now this is my version of how bad can it get. And then we got the Chargers, the Cowboys. We beat the Panthers. So now, well, we're 6-7. We got the Chargers and the Cowboys. We lose both of those games because that's on the road. Both of those games are on the road. Los Angeles Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and all that. Jim Harbaugh versus Todd Bowles. We lose that game. We're 6-8 at Dallas. Hopefully, I'll be at that game. At Dallas, we don't match up well against them for whatever reasons. Well, obviously, it's obvious reasons. Their defensive line is too aggressive for the Bucs O-line. But they have no Dan Campbell, no Dan Quinn. But we lose against Dallas. We're 6-9. We beat Carolina 7-9, and we lose. No, actually, no, we beat the Saints. No, we lose that game, and we end up. No, we beat that game. We end up 8-9. How bad can it get? 8-9? That's not bad. 7-10, 8-9 is not bad. Well, it's not terrible. Remember now, this is just a hypothetical scenario-based situation. So everybody cool out. So the Bucs didn't. In my scenario, the worst or how bad can it get for the Bucs? And it's really not that bad. 7-10. I mean, is this my official schedule prediction? No. I have the Bucs winning more than 7 games. I mean, for those of you that think I'm hating on the Bucs, once again, this is not the final. This is not my real schedule prediction. This is just for conversation purposes on how bad can it get. 7-10 is not terrible. 7-10 is not terrible, folks. It's not a top 10 pick. It's like top 15, 10 to 15. But this is just how bad can it get. This is factoring in injuries, the pass defense. Even with all those situations for the Bucs on how bad can it get, the Bucs can still win 7 games with this schedule. Even if they have some injuries, no progression at the guard position, the pass, if everything remains the same, the Bucs can still win 7 games, in my opinion. If everything from last season remains the same, nothing really dramatically changed. There is no big jump. The offense pretty much still scores 20 points a game. The defense allows 19 points a game. Todd Bowles still shaky with the coaching decisions and in-game coaching decisions, in-game adjustments. Todd Bowles still worried about we had a great week of practice. The pass rush still 24th in the NFL at 27% pass rush win rate. The running game doesn't really improve that much. From 31st to 27. 7-10 is, I think that's how bad. That's the baddest. That's the worst it can get to me in this scenario. That's with injuries. Now I think our floor is 8-9. That's our floor. For those of you that think I don't like the Bucs, I'm not going to call any names out. But if you don't think I like the Bucs, cool. I think the floor for the Bucs is 8-9ish, 7-10ish, 8-9ish. But I think in this case, in this scenario, how bad can it get for the Bucs is 7-10. you know. And then tomorrow's video, I will do. Well, I did a video already on the ceiling, right? The ceiling's what, 10-7. But let's be honest, another 8-9, 9-8 season with no playoffs will be not good for the Bucs. I think we can agree with that. Because we gotta remember too, Todd Bowles, remember, as the head coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's 17-17. Let's keep that in perspective, folks. Before we act like the Bucs are really like that, it starts with the head coach. And I think a lot of us will agree with Todd Bowles being a mediocre at best head coach. I mean, the record speaks for itself. Now, I get it. We got 2 divisional titles. I get it. Don't get me wrong. 2 division titles with the record of 17-17. Now, keep in mind, folks, let's put it in perspective here. 8-9, 9-8. If we were in any other division, the Bucs don't make the playoffs. Now, that just lets you know how weak the NFC South is. So, of course, in my opinion, I think we're the favorites to win the NFC South. But that ain't saying a lot either, because that is the worst division in the NFL. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Well, I mean, come on, man. Like, we don't have to sit here and sugarcoat the NFC South. If you can win that division with 8 wins, if you can win a division with 8 wins or 9, that division's not good. Can we agree with that? If you can win a division with 8 wins, like Todd Bowles did, 8-9. Tom Brady's last year, 8-9 with Tom Brady at quarterback? That ain't. And then the bar was set so low, the following year, they win the division with a 9-8 record, a tiebreaker, because the Saints went 9-8. So in 2 years, we got 2 divisional titles. Everybody congratulate Todd Bowles. Congratulations. But with a 17-17 record as the head coach, that ain't nothing to be standing on top of a mountain like Mighty Joe Young beating your chest either. So Todd Bowles need to have a better year. Another year of mediocre will not be good for him or the Bucs fan base, because I promise you, a lot of us are kind of like, come on, dog. Like, you got to take this team to the next level. So when I say how bad can it get, a 7-10 season, I think you got to take a look at Ben Johnson. Would you agree with that? Would y'all agree with that? Another a 7-10, 8-9 season. Don't you got to take a look at a better head coach that can probably get us over the hump? Because if we don't do that, that means everybody or most of the Bucs fans are cool with mediocre coaching. I don't want the Bucs to be a mediocre team. As a Bucs fan, I would like the Bucs to be constantly talked about winning double digits. Now, are we there yet? No. But it remains to be seen if the Bucs win double digits like they did in 2020. 2021. That was the peak Bucs. Remember, during that time frame, the Bucs had a top 5 roster. Because of Tom Brady and AB and Gronkowski and Ryan Suckup and Tristan Wirfs rookie and Antoine Winfield rookie. Leonard Fournette at running back. Top 5 roster. How the mighty has fallen. I still can't believe how the Bucs go from a top 5 roster in 2020 and 2021. Even in 2022, when they didn't have the Bucs ranked bad. But all of a sudden in 2023, the roster rankings drop like crazy. Was it because of Todd Bowles, the head coach? '22 comes and rolls around. Oh, the Bucs roster not that good. What? Wait a minute, you just had us in the top 5, top 10 roster with Tom Brady and Super Friends. And then they leave. In 2022, Tom Brady has not really a good season. The Bucs roster ain't good. And in 2023, the Bucs roster ain't good. And then in 2024, some of the websites got the Bucs roster Nobody got the Bucs roster above 15. How did we fall so far? But we're a top 10 team. I'm just trying to understand. I'm going to put this together. I'm going to figure this out, folks. Thank you for joining this episode of Bucos Locker, or Locker Room Talk with Bucos Locker. Folks, I'll be dropping another video tomorrow. It'll be a lot shorter because it's 4th of July. I had a good time talking today. It was fun. It was actually fun. No hard feelings. I'm not tripping on nobody. No hard feelings. If you are upset at me or you feel some type of way toward me, I don't know what to tell you. I've been doing this since 2016. This channel been running since 2016, and I've talked about any and everything for the Bucs, good, bad, and ugly. And if you cannot handle conversations when it doesn't fit what you want to hear, then you probably need to go to another channel, because over here we talk about everything, the good, bad, and the ugly. And I remember there was some other guy earlier talking about, what good did you talk about? Jesus Christ, man. Like, it's like they don't hear the good side. They just hear only what I say that they don't like. All you gotta do is go back and watch the videos, man. If you have any questions or concerns about my loyalty to the Bucs, may the force be with you, buddy. If you go questioning if I like the Bucs, if I don't like the Bucs, I'm a hater. He don't like the Bucs. He thinks the Bucs terrible. He don't like. You probably need to just go back and watch the videos. You probably need to watch the videos where I'm at the stadium. I live in New Orleans. I wear Bucs apparel. I go to the games in the trenches in New Orleans as a Bucs fan. But hey, I don't like the Bucs. So for those of you that question my loyalty to the Bucs, in my Morgan Freeman voice, good luck. Because doesn't matter over here, buddy. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. Cutthroat out here. Bucs fans, some of you Bucs fans, I question your emotions. Because if you see me in person, if you have a problem with me, just make sure you keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying. And then I'll give the energy that you give me. Because I'll be more than gladly to have a face-to-face conversation with you if you cannot handle social media conversation. Or you can also come in the locker room. I can put you on cam. You can cam up, and I can cam up, and we can talk about the Bucs. Now, if you want to do that and you want to challenge me, fine. Challenge accepted. I won't hold no grudges against you. But if you want to come in the locker room, you got to cam up. You got to cam up and state your case. And make sure when you state your case, if you ever meet me face to face in the locker room with your cam on, just make sure you're ready to talk about everything, because the conversation will not be one-sided. It will not be all green light, A+ conversation, because we're going to have to talk about everything. We're not going to talk about what you want to talk about. We're going to talk about everything. So anyway, hashtag really, hashtag facts over feelings, hashtag reality over optimism, hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't play the game. I just talk about it. Hashtag why? Hashtag what are you doing? Hashtag newbie. BucosLocker signing out. I'll see y'all tomorrow on 4th of July. Enjoy the rest of your day. BucosLocker signing out.